huge international help, and it's very impoverished at the end. One has to ask where this money has gone. And in fact, IBHI, an institution, has made research, money has largely been gone to corruption. This is a very good lesson that pouring money somewhere is actually a good recipe for increasing corruption, destabilizing democratic processes, and not for development. And I think that by now we should know that, but the mistakes are being, of course, with pleasure repeated over and over again by decision makers all over. Why is that so? You can imagine yourself, you can find your own answers. So poverty and unemployment is increasing. On the purpose, I didn't give numbers here because these are the numbers that I don't trust. I don't trust methodology, and and also they're old. And unemployment especially doesn't mean anything because informal economy is very well spread. It's up to 40%, which is an estimate. And poverty is, again, it doesn't mean anything. And this is old, they have old data anyhow, from 2011. According to UNDP Human Development Report, more than 50% of population in Bosnia and Herzegovina suffers from some form of social exclusion. And actually, we can safely say that that percentage is much higher. If we put into that basket of socially excluded young people who are more unemployed than anyone, than old people, than women of certain generation, not to mention disabled, especially after the war, you can imagine that the percentage is higher than it would normally be. Sick people, people from rural areas, distant rural areas, uneducated people, whatever you want to put in the basket, we can end up with much higher percentage. Roma situation is especially striking, with many of Roma children not even having documents that they have ever been born, which is really very good ground for trafficking of human beings and even trafficking of human organs, and many other things. Illiteracy, violence against women very well spread in Roma population, and even women in large proportion accept it as normal. Then we have a country with huge rural-urban differences. Interestingly enough, not always working in favor of urban, and especially difficult situation with small cities. So actually regional differences is what is the most striking. With 6 cities having some kind of growth and everything else basically going backward. On the top of all this, we have something, as I just wrote in my report for Bosnia, we have a discrimination which doesn't have a name yet, which is discrimination. If you know the name, please help me. I would be happy to put that name. But this is a discrimination based on differential treatment that citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina get based on where they live, on cantons, and who covers their insurance, who defines, because I just told you how many constitutions are there, who defines whatever, from maternity leave to all other issues. So people are exposed to so high level of these differential treatments that this is basically a huge discrimination. Now, in gender history, if we look in Bosnia and Herzegovina, we can see that there have been women's groups